So, from this perspective, if it is reasonable to infer that oral contraceptives may, in at least some circumstances, contribute to the loss of an embryo after fertilization, then the ethical implications are profound because the human embryo is regarded as a unique, irreplaceable, and biologically distinct human organism possessing a value that cannot be replicated or restored once lost. Even a small possibility of embryonic death warrants serious moral scrutiny. Under this view, the difficulty of obtaining definitive proof should not be treated as proof that no harm occurs, particularly when the subject concerns the earliest stages of human life. Consequently, the routine promotion and prescription of hormonal contraceptives to young women may be seen by critics as ethically questionable insofar as it could expose embryonic human life to risks that are insufficiently understood, insufficiently disclosed, or insufficiently investigated. What does insufficiently disclosed mean? Right? Let's say, for example, you got this young lady. We talked about this before on this channel. We talked about this young lady who's 15, literally 15, 16, 17 years old. Okay, she's going to go in there and she's going to say, I'm sexually active. What does that mean? That means she's fornicating. She's not married, right? She's fornicating. Right? So she's playing the harlot, if you will. Whatever kind of words you want to put it. It's a fornication. It's a dirty sin, right? And she's devaluing herself as a lady. I mean, what kind of husband wants that? What kind of husband would be? But our society has fallen so far that this is what we have. Anyway, so 15, 16, 17-year-old young lady, and then what's the doctor going to say? It prevents pregnancy. That's all she's going to say. She's not going to say anything about everything we talked about. That it may cause embryonic death, right? She's not even going to say that because she's going to lie and say that the pill prevents pregnancy, right? So it's insufficiently disclosed, and this is she cannot consent because number one, she's okay, a mature minor, if you will, but that can that mature minor mind truly consent to the mechanism of action, which is, there's a possibility of embryonic death, right? No, she's not even going to go there. She's going to say, no, it prevents pregnancy. You'll be fine. Just, take these and do whatever you want, right? Eh? Instead of guiding her as a role model, right? They're just, keep selling a ticket to this kind of endless debauchery, right? There's this kind of there's no restrictions, do whatever you want kind of debauchery, right? It's quite gross, right? When you put these young women into these positions where they feel that they can, do this kind of fornication and just basically, it's not going to cause pregnancy, but it will, right? It will, and there will be some embryonic deaths, right? So it's I would never in a million years put my daughter on that thing, and I would never. And she never will. I got a whole bunch of daughters, and they're wonderful young ladies, and they would never ever in a million years, right, take these terrible things. So uh, this is something that merits a serious scrutiny, right? We should look at this much closer than we did. I've been looking at it for 2 years, like steady, 2 years steady, and I've come to the conclusion where you cannot be 100% certain that the pill, causes embryonic death. But you shouldn't be like that. What we should do, we should trust these doctors and say, these doctors got the best, these got those they have a fiduciary duty onto us. All right, they should care for our best interest. Instead, we are 99.99999% sure that number one, we are 100% sure that they are against us with all these dirty needles that they're poking into us with a whole bunch of whatever you want to call it. Here we got aborted fetal cell lines and all this stuff, that weird stuff they got in there, and then we're not allowed to ask questions because we're supposed to trust them blindly. And if we don't ask questions, then we are good, right? The more ignorant we are, the better. They like us more because we're more malleable. But we should be 99.999% sure that this happens. We should be 0% sure, right? That's how bad this is. This is a terrible situation. I do appreciate you tuning in. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.